Hey everybody, welcome back to Heartland Farms. So we finally did it. We're mostly done. We're still putting our lives back from the chaos back together. It's a very slow process for us, but yep, we did it. So as many of you have noticed, our floors are pretty outdated. Last time this house was renovated, at least on paper, was 1970. So as you could tell, we had the vintage vinyl flooring, and we had some pretty old carpeting that just needed to come up. And we finally just pulled the trigger and we got it done. Today's the day we clean out the whole living room and we put down the new flooring. Would you like help? I'll go help him. Do you have gloves?
No, but we should pull the heat vents out.
It's for taking block. We ran into our greatest nightmare. We had ripped up the after we ripped up the carpeting and the underlayment, we found what I thought at first was mold, and we found particle board. And it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. Thankfully, it wasn't mold. It was residue from the underlayment of the carpet, so that scraped up, swept up easily.
Alright, what's happening, y'all? So, obviously we got the carpeting out of our living room, and we discovered that this is particle board underlayment underneath. Well, this sheet here, that used to be here, was all kind of puckered up. You can kind of see how this is puckered up a little bit. It was really bad on this sheet for some reason. So went ahead and completely ripped that sheet out. Just got back from running to town and picking up some more sheeting to be able to replace that. Gonna try to get away with not replacing all of this, just kind of scraping it down. This isn't structural at all. The underlayment isn't. It's just to kind of level everything out and give you a nice smooth surface to work on. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through and scrape the rest of it down. I got 2 sheets just in case I decide I want to replace some more sections, but for right now, we're just gonna focus on replacing this section here and then kind of scraping down. There's a little bit over here you can see. I've already done some, just kind of flattening it out so we can get the new linoleum down. There we go. Now it's back in video. Say hi, June.
Hey, what you fucking about?
June.
Huh? Yeah. So what do you need help?
And I'm in love. I've been waiting 4 years for that carpeting to go away. It does. Our house smells so much cleaner. And it feels amazing. One thing that people I don't think stress enough is that during the time when you are laying down fresh flooring, your house is in a disaster zone. So we piled everything in our living room, in our dining room, and in our kitchen. And goodness, did we feel like hoarders. We had like a pathway to get outside the house. We couldn't even cook or anything like that. Like there was just no room. And it was just, it was driving my husband nuts, Cody nuts, which says a lot because normally it drives me nuts like much sooner. And we just had this desire to get everything done and everything back into the living room and back into its place so we can kind of get back into our normal routine. The next step was to tackle the kitchen. Now the kitchen flooring had a nice 1970s vintage pattern to it. Unfortunately, it was kind of coming up in places, which again, water can get through, and if water and germs can get through there, then you have a potential for mold, and that's just not a good way to keep your house clean. That's not a good system to have for your zone 0. So, but laying down laminate around an island is a whole other story compared to laying down laminate in just an open square. Thankfully, the stuff in the kitchen, we had less furniture and stuff to move out of the kitchen, but we did rip out the dishwasher to see like what underneath the dishwasher we had to get, had to replace. With ripping out the dishwasher, we turned off the water, which meant we didn't have sink or running water in our kitchen. It's very hard to do dishes and to cook without running water. So again, our kitchen was inaccessible. How we did our kitchen was that we took the advice of my father-in-law, who is a carpenter. He works contractor for construction, residential construction. And he said that he made a template. So we got some giant roll of construction paper and made a template of everywhere we would have to lay down the laminate. We cut the laminate a little bit bigger, and then we fit it to the room. We did remove the trim in the kitchen just to get a closer cut to the actual wall. We tried in the living room to do it without the trim, and we just decided, you know, it's easier just to remove the trim and put the trim back on. So that's what we did. And it feels so nice. Cody did an amazing job laying down the laminate, of getting everything to square. It's kind of funny because you don't, like an open square, like your living room is easy to lay laminate down, but once you start including on an island and like corners, it's a lot harder with vinyl to lay that down. And he had to do a lot of it by himself too. It wasn't something that I could help with. I was helping with keeping the girls occupied, keeping them busy, keeping them out of his work way. Again, we have a very active, our youngest is very, very active, as you guys can tell. So I'm keeping her away from the dog right now. Our oldest one was a huge help. She just kind of picked things up and like helped where she could, like very naturally, intuitively picking, like cluing into that stuff, which was like I didn't even expect it. It was really cool to see that growth in her. Again though, as we were laying down the kitchen laminate, we were back in that hoarding situation where we had to move everything out of its place, and it just puts us in a really cramped situation where the kids have a limited space to play, and it felt cluttered, and when things feel uncluttered, it's stressful. It's a difference between a small space that's clean and a large space that's cluttered. So we had to get everything fanned back out afterwards and get everything kind of back to normal. And we're still in the process of getting things back to normal. During this time, things got neglected, such as laundry, because I wasn't able to get it done. We're trying to get the flooring done. So we're now playing catch up with laundry, playing catch up with pretty much everything else. We're, I think, getting there. It's been nice though to really kind of improve the system. Vinyl, we've done it. I don't think we would do it again, just because it was such a pain to lay down and get everything cut to square. If you guys have experience replacing flooring, let us know, like, what's like the flooring that you thought was the simplest or the best flooring that you've had to put down yourself and was like the best for renovation. So anyways, thank you for tuning in. Till next time, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.